What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about SoundHound, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is in the green 0.92%. Absolutely insane day. So I did a pre-market video earlier today, and I went over a lot of the fear. So I think we came in today knowing that there was going to be a little bit of a bloodbath, and that was from the whole tariffs. But just in that roughly 2 hours since that video, you already do have this coming out saying that the tariffs are now delayed for 1 month. So very good stuff. The market is absolutely loving that in combination with this. So in my pre-market, I did state that if it came in very good, such as this, so the manufacturing forecast was 49.8, actual came in at 50.9. So above that key threshold or that kind of pivot of 50. Anything above 50 shows more of an expansion within the broader market. Anything below that shows more of a contraction. This has been improving since August's low of 46. So the data is absolutely amazing. So you have two things, one of which the fears associated to tariffs kind of going away, plus you have very good data. That is what is prompting a lot of stocks to recover. But even based on my watch list, like SoundHound is definitely the leader so far. Even looking at Nvidia, that is still down 2.6%. So definitely big money is buying the SoundHound dip. And based on this, you can kind of see all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. First one, 7.12 million. So a lot of big money definitely getting into SoundHound. Nothing really new or any news, anything like that. No SEC filings, no press releases. So it's just been kind of piggybacking off the broader market and just, yeah, so far it's working out for SoundHound very well. The only thing that really came out that was of interest was an article talking about Jim Cramer. It's making it sound as though that it just happened. I do believe that this occurred roughly 2 weeks ago, where Jim Cramer did state that SoundHound was just merely a meme stock, but he wouldn't really recommend betting against it because you never know how high it can go. That was his exact words. So yeah, I think all in all, that's very good. So it's dated February the 2nd. So there might have been maybe he did reiterate that or state something again, but yeah, Jim Cramer has talked on SoundHound quite a lot, so it goes to show that it's of interest to him and his viewers. But aside from that, shorts are increasing 160,000 shares. First thing, they were increasing roughly around 3 million shares, and then of course with the good data and everything, they are starting to return. So they went kind of back to normal, but 33.22% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 109.32 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost per average 5.13%, and yeah, honestly, I don't know. It's kind of a weird scenario. Good to see that SoundHound is ready to move higher. Shorts still increasing, maybe potentially could result in a little bit of a squeeze, of course, down the line if this momentum does continue, or better yet, if the tariffs are altogether dropped. My hypothetical that I do feel could actually come to fruition is that some negotiations are going to occur and the States is going to drop their tariffs with Canada and Mexico down to 10%. Canada will completely withdraw all their retaliation, same with Mexico. So that way, I think the States will still get the better end of the deal, and that's kind of what they want. Canada, Mexico, their economy is still, I guess, thrive essentially from the kind of deal and the trade. So it'd be a win-win for everyone. So that's my thoughts of what is going to happen probably this week, because Trump at the same time, like, he's in office for now 2 weeks. He doesn't want a market crash on his hands straight away. So I think that is what might happen. And of course, as a result, stocks are going to go up like crazy. So that's just my viewpoint. Moving over to options. So you have 3.04 million in calls, 2.17 in puts. 47% of all the options being done today are optimistic in nature. Of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above roughly $17. So very nice recovery. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 10. So kind of give and take a little bit. Right now with it at 14.31, it is trading between these 2 points, so this R1 and the pivot. So 14.08 is going to be that key support. Just watch for that to hold. 15.10 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. On the actual chart itself, so it is still regrettably below that 50-day moving average, so just watch for that. That's sitting at 14.95, but right now it is above the ALMA, so kind of just wedge bound between these 2 points, and most likely that's kind of where it might land, unless there is some other data that does come out associated to tariffs prompting a resurge in fears. But honestly, SoundHound is doing very, very good in comparison to pretty much everything else out there. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Are you buying the dip? Did you hedge with options? On a side note, I know based on everything, I think a lot of people maybe came to the realization over the weekend being like, hey, maybe I'm overextended. I need to kind of hedge a little bit more. So just take the time to research, hedge. You can either do that through options, cash, bonds. There's a lot of different things. So that's just a side note. I know I usually just bring up on my videos like what's happening right now, what's happening tomorrow, and whatever. But I also want to educate as best as I can. So just take the time to research and diversify your portfolio and whatever else. And even if you are just holding solely SoundHound, you can always hedge through options as well. So definitely take advantage of that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so definitely pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.